guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be way different than anything that I've done because it's more of a DIY home project. I finally talked my husband, and by talk I mean like nagged him for the last year and a half into updating our kitchen. But what I wanted to do before we got rid of all those upper cabinets and did some new shelving and stuff like that, I wanted to redo the pantry. My husband kept saying, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. So what do you do when he says we're not doing it? You wait until he leaves for a weekend and you do it anyway. I'm pretty proud with how these things turned out. So thanks for checking it out. If you like this video, if you want to see more like this, go ahead, like and subscribe, and I will see you soon. In a nutshell, what we're going to be doing is on the upper 3 levels, we're going to be installing an overlay, so to speak. It'll be topped with plywood. The front lip will be, like a small 1x3 piece of wood. Everything will be stained, and it's going to slide right in. No attaching, no nothing. Very renter friendly. In the bottom half of the pantry, we will remove the bottom shelf, followed by taking a 42-inch and a 24-inch upper cabinet from the kitchen and making them base cabinets in the pantry, topped with a stained wood countertop, filling in the gaps between the cabinets with plywood painted the same color to make it look more built in. This is really overfull right now. It doesn't usually look like this, but like as you can see, I took all my spices that were in the cabinets. I condensed a lot, got rid of some stuff we didn't use, but most of this stuff here we use, and we use it frequently. And I put some of my dishes and just some go-to things like for every day, but I need to make better use of this. So let me get a good shot of this because this is like awful right now. It even goes down to the floor. There's drinks and garbage bags and stuff on the floor. We're gonna do this today. Okay, I just literally talked for 10 minutes without the camera being on. So my goal in that pantry is I'm gonna take that very bottom shelf out for now and put the new cabinets in. I'm gonna get a 12-inch slab of wood, and I'm going to stain it and make it look like look at me, I'm so sweaty, like a wood countertop kind of thing. And then I'm going to cover the other shelves. They're ugly to look at. I realize they're super ugly to look at. However, because I've got all these other projects going on, I really don't want to spend a ton of money in this pantry. I just want it to look a little prettier for now, and maybe eventually I'll get different shelving and stuff, but this stuff is sturdy. I'm going to keep it, but I'm going to cover it, and I'm going to cover it by using plywood. So I'm going to go to Lowe's today. I'm going to get a 4x8 foot piece of plywood. I don't know, maybe ½ inch or quarter, I don't know. And I'm gonna have them rip it into sizes that I need. And then I need 1x2 foot pieces of wood. Like, I don't know, I'll look at furring strips because those are cheap. And I need probably 3 of those if they're 8 foot long. And that little white lip that comes over the front of the shelf, that will get stained the same color as the plywood, and I'll attach it, and that will camouflage that white front lip of the shelf. I don't know why I'm so hot and sweaty right now. It's ridiculous. I need a quart of poly shades. It's just real easy to work with, and it's like the stain and the top coat together. And I think I'm gonna need some finish nails. Roger's not here, so I don't know how to use the air compressor or his nail gun. So that's what I'm gonna do today, I think, is get the shopping done, get all my pieces cut that I need cut, and then get them stained. All right, so these are my pieces. This guy over here, that's gonna be the faux countertop for on top of the cupboards. This is going on the shelving above it, and then these will be the end pieces to cover that lip that goes over the wire shelving. I need to get all these items cut to size. I guess the rest is more like wish me luck because I really don't know what I'm doing. So we'll see. So this is the wood that I'm going to be using for the faux countertop on top of the cabinets. It's 1x12 pine, and it was 8 foot long, and I cut it down to the sizes that I need for the 2 sections. So it's been sanded, it's been dusted, it's ready to go. So I'm going to start polyurethaning or staining, whatever. Let's see how quick this goes. It says at least 6 hours in between coats, and it says to do 2 coats. All right, done for today. Pieces that I can, starting to dry. So it's almost 5 o'clock. I'm gonna call it quits for the day, but I like the color. It looks, to me, I'm trying to see with a light, without a light, it looks a lot more yellow in the camera. It's not quite as oaky as that. It's a little bit darker, but it took the stain really, really well. It's in the process of drying now, but I think it'll look good when it's all said and done. Sorry, you can hear my music in the background. I'm gonna go wash my hands and take a shower and get all this sweat and sawdust off of me, and I will reconvene tomorrow morning. Good morning, round 2. We need to sand each of these pieces of wood and stain them one more time, let them dry, and then we can start hopefully partially assembling the pantry. So I'm going to start the arduous task of sanding. I'm not gonna videotape sanding just because it's boring. It's the same thing I did last time. It's 220 grit sandpaper, and I'm gonna give everything kind of like a light once over, and we'll get back in here and start restaining. Okay, I shouldn't say all, but most of my staining's done. I got the big boards, the little plywood pieces, and most of these have been done. They need to dry about 6 hours or so. You know, there's some sides that need to be touched up or whatever. But in the meantime, while they're drying, I need to empty out this whole bottom section, all this crap that's here, and then this bottom shelf, because I'm going to remove this whole bottom shelf. That's where the new cabinet's going to be. So I guess no time like the present. Let's start cleaning house. I've been trying to figure out, I've been pulling, and it looks like it's got like there's stain. I don't have really dirty fingernails that's full of stain. It looks like a flathead screwdriver, and I've been unscrewing it. It's not going anywhere, so I actually had to Google how to remove these. I didn't know what it was. Essentially, I should be able to like get in there with a flathead and pry this as essentially like a nail out, and then once that happens, the expander, like the wall anchor, should come right out. So I'm going to try taking a couple of these out and see if it actually works. Was so much harder than I thought it was going to be, but I got the whole bottom row taken out. All right, I moved the cabinet door, or the cabinet in. I slid it on a blanket and put it into place. You'll notice that the handles are down at the bottom, which looks wrong, but it's really right because they were upper cabinets. This will give you an idea kind of what it'll look like. I was not able to finish my project before Roger came home, but I'm glad that he's here because he is now going to help me finish nailing the small front pieces to the little plywood boards. So I'm going to show you what he's going to help me with. Sorry for the yellowness of the light, but he is stapling that front lip to the front of these plywood pieces to make the shelf. All right, so finished. I say finished product. So that's what it looks like. Here's my little piece of wood, and then this is my plywood piece. I know on the front I'm probably going to have to, on the edge, touch it up like all the stain and stuff, but I'm going to do that after the fact. So I am going to go try and fit this first one in the closet and in the pantry and make sure that it fits okay. First one is in. I'm not even attaching it to anything. It's just going to sit on top. Because once all these heavy glass containers and stuff go on the shelf, you're not going to really notice anything anyway. So that is a huge, huge improvement from what was here already. So there it is. There's shelf number 2. Looks like it's been there all along. All right, so first level is in. It's bugging me. I can still see a little bit of that shelf. So when I got these lips, I got them to be 2 inches. They are just shy of covering this bottom piece. So from a distance on this bottom shelf, you can't really tell, so it's not an issue right now. But as I get to the second and third shelf, it's gonna show really, really bad, which is killing me. I am going to go get some 1x3s to finish out this project and make sure that, like everything's covered. So now you know, this is what I'm going to work on today. Hopefully I can get the rest of this stuff done today and tomorrow. And then this closet should be done. And my goal is to have it, under $100. I want it to be just a cheap, easy upgrade. So I'm going to Lowe's and going to run some errands, and I will come back later. Okay, we finished all 3 shelves. Put in the 3-inch fronts instead of the 2-inch. Looks so much better. So part 1 is done. We're moving on to part 2. This just came off the wall. This is I believe a 24-inch cabinet. It has the handle at the bottom because it was an upper, but I'm just going to fill that hole and put in another hole and put the handle up above. Over here, I was able to just switch the doors. And when I switch them from one side to the other, it automatically put them in the right position. But this one, you can't exactly do that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean out the inside, get the other piece of the countertop. So I'm going to get cracking. I'm not sure if I told you or not either. The counter is just like, the shelf is just laying on top of it right now. I still gotta nail it in, but in these open spots, I'm not gonna leave them open. I'm going to use what's left over for my plywood, hopefully, and figure out how to attach those in those gaps and paint them to match the cabinets. And that way it looks more seamless, more, like it's supposed to. So Roger's outside cutting that last strip. I had one extra piece that was about 9 inches or so wide, and he's cutting those 2 pieces for me. So they're like roughly 30 by 9, I want to say. So we're going to work on those and get those painted today and get everything in shape. The color that I used is Dorian Gray, just a color that I had already. Gave it a couple coats and I'm gonna let it dry. It's not the exact color of the cabinets, but it is real darn close. So close that I'm just gonna leave it at that. I don't care. All right, boys and girls, we are nearing the finish line with this project. Now that I see it on camera, the color is slightly off. Eventually, I'll look at trying to make that color more seamless. I still got to bump the handle up here, but Roger is in the process of taking those painted boards that I did earlier, and he's kind of building like a false wall here. Now it's not going to line up. Kind of like a false wall to just finish this off over here in this corner and in this corner. I feel like we're getting an awful lot into this small room, but I think it's gonna look good when it's all said and done. We're almost there. All right, boys and girls, so here is the finished product. All I gotta do is take that handle and take it off there and put it up here and, fill in the hole and stuff. But other than that, it is pretty much done. So this cost me well under $100. It was more elbow grease, but I lucked out because I have these cabinets that came off of my came out of my kitchen. I was able to recycle, upcycle, what I have. And now I have way more space than I ever did before. And I feel like even though I still have a lot of stuff, it's more organized. Everything has its home. Everything's got a place. And as I finish my kitchen, some of this stuff's even going to come out of here. Like under here, I have my dishes and stuff. That'll all come out of here because most of those dishes will be going into the new kitchen when it's done. So I think this was a huge success. What a transformation. It's not a permanent solution, but for the cost, which was well under $100, the rest was my own, elbow grease, my tools that I already had, and just a little bit of ingenuity. Now that this part's done, now I can get started on the kitchen. So I will be documenting the kitchen. It's not perfect, but it sure is an improvement. So I want to thank you guys for watching and sticking around, and I hope to see you again soon. Please like and subscribe if you like what you saw today or you want to see more, and I will see you soon.